Anything you can ever donate on your checks, $5, you guys, $5 on a closing, $10, anything, set it up. I really encourage you to do that. And it is tax deductible, but that's not what matters. What matters is you never know. No one ever knows when it can be them or someone in their family. And so I really do. I believe in that system more than a lot of other things. You know, we go to the grocery store and they want you to hit a button, add another $5, add the rest of your money, all that stuff. You know, whatever you choose, we all have our affiliations we want to support. But honestly, this is one that we all participate in. And we all have family members, and it's really a worthwhile endeavor. So just really consider it. So thank you again, Vanna, and you know, our prayers to his family. So let's see. So I did want to, you know, that I'm sorry to start on a sad note, but I do think it's important. But I did want to congratulate. There's been a lot of closings and a lot of new business since we last met. And so I hope I remember everyone, but I tried to go through the list, and hopefully I got most everyone. And if I missed you, please raise your hand and say, hey, I did something too, because I could have missed some of you. New business, Melody Cooper, brand new agent. And I don't see her on the call right now, but she got her first listing. She's out of the Manteca office. Closings. Angelo Trinidad got 2 closings in December. Joey Gullickson closed 1 and is in escrow on a second one. Chris Irvine closed a listing in December. Glenda Gordon closed a listing. Audrey, she has 2 listings into contract. Very good, Audrey. I'm going to let you talk on that in a moment, please. Jacob had a closing. I think 2, Jacob. I'm not sure if the second one closed yet. But congratulations. Jacob's really been working very hard. So I'm really proud of you, Jacob. I'm proud of all of you, but Jacob knows we've talked a lot. Heather had she double-ended one, so she essentially had 2 closings. And she's working now full-time. Natalia Galindo had 1 closing. Pam Fagan had a listing into contract. And so her first listing, and it's into contract now. And then let's see, I didn't mention you, Kim, but you had a closing, I believe, too, in December. So you guys, it can happen for you. Just keep working at it. And I know it's tough out there, but once you taste that and you feel it, you can keep rolling with it. So congratulations to those people. And some of you had closings in December that I mentioned previously. So I'm hopefully I didn't omit anyone. Anyone have their hand up that I did omit? I apologize in advance. I don't see. Let me see the next screen. No. Okay. Well, you know, it's really good, you guys. You really have made this program what it is, and we all appreciate you for it. So good job. Announcements. If you have a pen and paper, I would like you to write some of these down. Or always you should be checking your market center calendar. And also, hopefully you have either one of these already in place, because we are today on January 5th, or you're very techie and really smart and you're doing it in your computer. I haven't gotten there, I will admit. But, you know, this is definitely the easier way to go if you're good at it. So hopefully you have one of those mechanisms. Who has that? Raise your hand. One of those.
Yeah.
Okay, we should see a whole lot more hands up. Okay, because this is a business. Thank you, Arthur. This is a business where you have to stay on track. You have to time block, you have to schedule. You want to put all your meetings in there. You know what you really want to put in there? When you want to take your next vacation or your next weekend off. Because honestly, that's a goal to strive for. Jerry, I didn't mention you. Jerry got her first buyer into contract too. Jerry, congratulations. So thank you. You should have raised your hand, or maybe I missed you, but Jerry also got into contract. In any case, you guys, if you don't have this yet, or if you haven't started using your Google Calendar, please, by next meeting, have one of these. They're probably on sale now. Go to Barnes and Nobles, go to Target, go somewhere, buy a calendar, or else start using your Google Calendar. It really is how you can keep track of your business and your goals and your life. You also want to track, you know, what the things you want to accomplish in every day. You know, maybe you want to make sure you take a little bit of time to some personal time, you know, your haircuts, your that kind of thing. Maybe you want to make sure you block time with your grandchildren or your children or your parents. Please make sure you use your calendar. It really will help you in your business, in your daily life. But what I wanted you to write down, our PC meetings, and we'll send something out as well, but I just want you to know, in January, we will continue on Wednesdays, except, and this is what you want to write down, there will not be a PC meeting on January 19th. Instead, that's the first opportunity, the first free opportunity to bold. And I did send that out last night as well. And so that is something I really highly encourage you to participate on January 19th. So you don't have to come to this. I want you to go to the bold. Even if you cannot afford to pay for it this year, go to it so you can see what it is, so you can taste it, because then you can put it as a goal for the next time around. Okay, so really, I really highly encourage you. And many of you have signed up for Bold. So congratulations, that's great. You're investing in yourself, you're investing in your business. Boot camp, there is a boot camp coming up January 13th and 14th. You can, if you've never been, please come. If you have come before, please come for a refresher. Send me an email. That's the easiest way to sign up, because I start adding you to my contact list. I have a distribution, and honestly, it's the easiest way I can do this. So it is January 13th and 14th, Zoom only. All meetings in January will be Zoom only from my perspective. I'm trying to stay, I will be in the office a little bit, but I don't want to have big groups in the office if I don't have to. Because we in my family over the last 2 weeks did experience COVID. Luckily, my husband and I did not, but we spent a lot of time alone because they all had to hibernate in their own homes. So it was real. Let's see. So boot camp. And then this is an exciting one. We are going to have a call night. It's going to be the first call night of the year. If you've seen on the calendar that there's one, I think today, that's incorrect, or there was something on there incorrect. But write this down. First call night of the year will be Thursday, January 13th. Krista, I think they usually do them 4 to 6. Is that correct?
Correct, 4 to 6.
It'll be 4 to 6. And I will get you more information, hopefully in the next few days. We'll also get a flyer made, but we're going to have a theme to this one. So it's going to be a build your downline theme. I've been collecting lots of names of people that have expressed an interest in becoming realtors, or maybe you've worked with some realtors over the last year. We want you to call them. We're going to have scripts we'll work on in the next week, not today, but of how to approach them. Because this is the theme is to build your downline. We want to work on recruiting, and we want you to help, but it's not for just us. It's not for the company. It's also for you, because you can build your downline with this. We will have prizes. I haven't yet determined which 2 offices will have it at, but we will let you know that soon. I know we normally have it in Stockton and Manteca. But I want you to participate. And the offices are plenty big that you don't have to be next to anyone. You can come in and do it pretty, there's definitely a 6 feet apart kind of thing. There's lots of areas you can go and hang out by yourself and make these calls. And we'll give you names and numbers. You just need to make the calls. And we'll have scripts for you. And this can be a way for you to help build your downline. So that's on that day, and more information to follow. Also on Wednesday, January 19th, so that's the following week, we're going to have a career night. Some of you who ever went to a career night, we've had them in the past. I know Kim did, Kathy did. Yeah, we haven't had them in several years. I used to do them, and then we kind of just stopped. Well, COVID happened probably, but we are going to host a career night. I'm pretty sure we'll do hybrid. Arthur, you haven't heard about this yet, but we'll be doing hybrid, but we'll also do it in person, and that will be for sure in the Stockton office and the Manteca office. So honestly, when we do this call night the week prior, you can also invite them to a career night. So you're offering them, you can offer them K-Score, which is a free licensing opportunity. You can offer them a career night to come and learn more about Keller Williams. If you've already worked with them in the past, you can offer them just Keller Williams. We will give you information. So they're going to be warm calls, not as opposed to just cold calls. You're going to have something to offer these people. And honestly, if they were our past agent, you can even offer them an MREA book. We want to get people in. Yes, Arthur.
What time is career night?
Career night is 6 to 7 on the January 19th. And Yeah, so hopefully, if you, I'm not making you be there since you didn't even know about this,
Oh,
but
no, I'm putting it in my
maybe-
calendar right now.
okay, at least help us set up, or you'll help, you know how what we do. But we're gonna do hybrid just in case they shut us down more or something like that. So at least it'll be on the calendar and it'll happen. We're gonna create flyers for that in the next, hopefully 24 hours. And I will send you a flyer so you can maybe start sharing it with people or post it at your local, wherever you go, maybe a coffee shop. You know how Starbucks has a board you can post things on? Laundromats have boards you can post things on, wherever you know to do that. Or you could even walk a neighborhood. Danny was in a meeting we had yesterday, and I think she said like there were 5,600 or 56,000 people, 56,000 that left their jobs in the month of November. I mean, this crazy number. You know, the Great Resignation is still going on. So it's really a great opportunity to help you build your downline. Okay, so it's not about just thinking about right now, it's about thinking about your future. So something, you know, I think it's a great theme to start with, and then we will continue to have these call nights with different themes going forward, but this is the way we're going to start this year. Okay. Now I would like to do a quick, one more thing. In the month of March, I didn't get that far. Our month of February, PC meetings will be on Thursdays.
Yeah, I don't think any of our
10:30 to 11:30.
rosters or anything, so
Thank you, Bailey. 10:30 to 11:30 with scripts immediately following. We had to move them to Thursdays for the months of February and March. All of February, all of March, they will be on Thursdays due to the fact that Bold is on Wednesdays. And it's intermittent, but it's too confusing to say, well, I'll have it this day, that day, and this day, this week, and all that. So I just blocked out all of February, all of March, moved it to Thursday. My plan is in April, we'll come back to Wednesday. I really like Wednesday better. It's kind of a hump day. Everyone, you know, it just, I think the flow is better. We get a lot of participation. I hope you can still plan to come on Thursdays. I had to move it due to Bold. So I hope you understand. Okay. We will still have twilight sessions in the evening and script in the evening. So we're going to be doubling up on those days, which, you know, puts a little more pressure on your coaches, but it's just what we had to do for those 2 months. So please bear with us. Okay, now I'm going to do the recap. I wanted Audrey to say a little bit about what she's experienced with her transactions she's been having in the last month or two. She had 2 great listings, and they've now gone into contract, and she's been working through them. And I've seen such growth in you, Audrey, and confidence, a lot of confidence I've seen. So I think it's really great. And this is what happens once you get into transaction, you start doing things, you know, you're actually one-on-one doing them, and it really helps. So Audrey, can you share what you've learned or what you've experienced, please?
So they say, no, the homes, you know, people will say homes aren't going to sell in December. Well, both of mine got the offers in December. So one was listed since August. That was the big one that everybody knows about. It was becoming my anchor, but we did get an offer on it. So it's been a learning experience. You have been incredibly helpful to me. I appreciate that. And I've had one agent that was not so pleasant to work with, and I've had another agent that has been absolutely lovely. So between all that, I am definitely learning a lot, and it's been a great experience. And that, to me, of all the, you know, classes and things that I've done in the past to get ready for this, now I can put it all into action, and it makes sense now that I'm doing it.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Audrey.
Mhm.
And I was helping Audrey because we had already started these things before
Yes.
Krista came on. So she'll
Right.
now be working more closely with Krista.
Right.
But I really appreciated working with you as well, Audrey. And you're just a sponge. You really want to learn, and you ask a lot of questions. And that's really important, you guys.
Probably too many, but
No, it's okay. It's honestly okay. Because we have a lot of laughs too. You know,
Yes.
you got to laugh in this business because, you know, some of you have already experienced working with other agents or other clients, and it can be sometimes difficult. So you always have to find somewhere to have a little laugh and break, you know, make it not be so pressurized.
absolutely.
It's kind of like the Instapot or whatever, and you really release the pressure, right? That's kind of what we have to do in this business.
Yep.
Kim, do you mind sharing what you've been going through with that seller and buyer seller, buyer, quasi buyer that you've had, and just so share what that's been like, please?
Yeah, so I have a house that's for sale in Oakland. Mine's been a little bit difficult because I have a buyer that's dead set on a price. It's been listed a month and we've had no activity whatsoever. And she will not budge on her price. So my goal is to do another open house this weekend and then have another conversation with her. It's also been difficult because she doesn't really want to get the house straightened up or cleaned up. And she also likes to be present for like if anyone comes through or when open houses, she's there kind of hovering. So this week I did find a bunch of Facebook pages that were Oakland homes for sale, and I posted on those, and I actually did get a call this morning. So that's exciting. Somebody that said they're gonna come during the open house, a lady. So I'm just trying to brainstorm any kind of ideas of things I can do. I'm gonna make a flyer about the open house and go back to those same Facebook groups. But yeah, it's been kind of crazy.
It's been a challenge for her. And here's a couple things. And I know she's learned from this. The same seller who hasn't really been very cooperative, overpriced, not cleaning, kept keeping the house like ready for showing, had Kim out showing her homes. So they were like looking for that new home. Kim was writing offers, yet they weren't taking the steps to get their home off the market. So it was kind of a lesson in fertility, I think. Or futility, said the word wrong, futility. So, just a couple things here. Honestly, if you have a client like that, don't start spending a lot of time driving them all over and looking at houses because they need to get real. And some of the clues there were first she knew it was overpriced, but we took the listing and that's okay. Sometimes clients have to learn that they're overpriced, but this client hasn't learned because a clear indication would be no one's come to see your house, right? So, and Kim has kept encouraging her to lower the price. Kim has encouraged her. I believe you have actually helped her tidy up as well.
Yes,
there's
I
little
did.
things like that.
I actually hired somebody to go out and help her. And when I went back, she almost messed it all back up again.
Yeah, I mean, she's gone above and beyond. But I think I just want to encourage in the future for Kim and for all of you, don't make sure they're cooperating and they're playing. Because if otherwise you're in one ball game and they're in another and you're not playing with each other, you're playing other people and it's a waste. And I wouldn't spend a lot of money or contribute money to someone who's not playing. Okay, I think you went above and beyond by helping her tidy up, and that's your decision. That's fine, but do it with someone who wants to cooperate and wants to get their home sold and wants to get a new house. Because in order to buy another house, you have to get your house sold in most cases. And if you're not trying to price your home to sell, you're not going to get anyone to see it. You're not going to get any offers. So you're not going to move to the next step of that next home. So Kim has really tried really hard. And I believe she's going to go do this open house. She already scheduled. She's still trying. She's scouring Facebook for groups. She's doing other things. But at some point, that client might need to be fired or refer it to another agent in the local area because she's also in Oakland. So it's not like she's just driving across the street or across town to help her. She's driving to Oakland. So there's costs keep compounding. So just think about all that when you're working with your clients. Okay. Anyone else have anything else they'd like to share and let everyone know about before I switch over? Good. Okay. I did want to introduce, we have a new agent on here. I only see one at the moment, and that's Dema Wassel. Dema, I don't know if I know I see her there, but she just started yesterday, brand spanking new. So I'm glad you were able to come on the call. Hopefully next time we can see you so we can meet you. But in any case, welcome to Keller Williams. And this is what we do pretty much every week. I'm trying to see if there's anyone else in here. I think everyone else. Jennifer, how are you feeling? I know Jennifer's been sick. Hopefully you're on the mend.
I feel much better.
Good.
The last 10 days was hard.
Okay, yeah. So good to hear, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome back. Oh, Riza, you are new too. Riza had signed on with us earlier. I don't think we've ever introduced her. But she's in, I believe, our Manteca office. There you are. And she did get her license over the last couple of weeks, and we were able to bring her fully on. So welcome as well, Riza. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, thank you for welcoming me. Looking forward to working with you all.
Okay, great. So you guys, we like to make sure everyone is welcome. I just joined this. I'm in a class, just so y'all know, every morning for the next 12 weeks from 8 to 8:30. I'm in a coaching class, which has been honestly really, really good. I was so nervous about it. And it's a lot of time commitment, obviously, but I feel like I've really learned a lot in the last 3 days. And then I had to sit in on a mastermind for an hour after the class today, but oh my God, I felt like my head was exploding with all these ideas. So it was really exciting. So hopefully you're also going to see growth in me over the next 12 weeks. But it was really cool. So it is great to grow and expand and push your boundaries. And that's what I intend to do as well. So I'm pushing you. I want you. I'm going to continue pushing myself. So welcome everyone, and glad to have you here. So I did look at the numbers real quick this morning, because I thought, we kind of need to know where we are in the market. And I know some of you now are hopefully doing this on your own, but I wanted to make sure, because we have newer people, that I'm gonna cover this again today real quick. Just go through numbers, and you may want to write down the numbers for the marketplaces that you support, but just to kind of get an idea. And as I read through them, and I did it real quick, I will admit, but as I read through them, there was a constant word that I saw, and you'll see it too in just a couple minutes. So we're going to start only because it's the one on top of the list here. Tracy. So inventory has decreased in Tracy to
Wow.
32. Okay. And it says home sales continue to outstrip supply, and the market action index has been moving higher for several weeks. This is a seller's market, so watch for upward pricing pressure in the near future if the trend continues. So the median list price is $792 right now. And I mean, it's decreased. So we weren't really seeing that word necessarily before. And I think the last time I ran these was November. I didn't do it in December. So now the word is decreased. So that's kind of the key word in some areas. So just listen through. Mountain House, inventory has decreased. It says it remains in a relative stasis in terms of inventory to inventory and prices. And it's been relatively stable. However, inventory is sufficiently low to keep us in the seller's market of median price of $830. So at some point, I think maybe October, November, we're hitting almost 1 million in Mountain House. Now it's 830, and there's only 13 houses in inventory. Who remembers last January when I read these numbers? And I said Mountain House was like, I don't know, 1 or 2. It's so 13. And then we went up to like 35. Now we're down to 13. So what does that tell us? Those of you near Mountain House, Vanna.
Barbara, I need to add something because I have a fresh experience with Mountain House. Yesterday, I submitted an offer for my client. The house it was listed for 1.299, 1.3. And it was the New Year weekend, guys. There was 8 offers and they accepted 1.5.
Wow. Wow.
1.5, guys. It's 2004 years built. It's just so crazy. And my offer was 1.35 with no contingencies. And still there was like a 3 higher.
Wow.
And the accepted offer was close to 1.5 million with no contingencies.
Crazy.
It's so crazy. And I just want to correct something, Barbara. Yesterday, I was working on comparables on the CMA in Tracy. There was only 24 listing, guys. 24 active homes on the market here in Tracy.
Okay.
Mountain House, maybe they do have 6 homes. So it's a very, very low inventory. Very
So definitely. And so the numbers, I don't know how they update or when they update, because some get pending, some price pull contingent, all that. But clearly, very low numbers, right?
It's very low.
Sorry. Okay, so thank you for sharing that. So very, very good insight. Okay, so then we come to, I'm not gonna do that one yet. That's way on the other side. Lodi. Lodi inventory has decreased to 42. Market has not shown strong directional trends in terms of supply and demand. However, it is sufficiently low to keep us in the seller's market. Median list price is 724. Average days on market there, it says is 65. So also very low. Lodi is traditionally kind of low, but it's still, it's decreased. So that's the key word. And so what does that tell us we should be doing in Lodi and Mountain House and Tracy?
Door knocking.
Door knocking, looking for listing, talking to people, really important right now. Because guess what? Remember the month of December? I don't know about you, but I felt like it was either foggy or rainy. And we had some weather, right? So a lot of people probably weren't out and about. But guess what? Look at the weather out today. They're coming out again. They're coming out. So start working on listings. Listings are key. Listings are key. So that's Lodi. Stockton. Inventories decreased to 211. Median list price of 440. It says this had shown, the index shows some strengthening in the last few weeks. Prices have not seemed to move from their plateau. So it's kind of in a plateau stage. But median list price, I think if I said already 440 with average days on market of 58. So that means, you know, I believe the way they do this one, it doesn't mean they've been on the market for 58 days before they go pending. It means they've been on the market 58 days total and then they close. Okay, so there could be some long escrows. Modesto, 485 inventory has decreased to 105 with the price of 485,000. Again, inventory sufficiently low and days on market there it says is 81. So I don't know where they get those days. Ripon. Here's another opportunity, Manteca, Ripon people, Modesto people, inventories decreased to 8. There's a lot more homes than that in Ripon. So go get one. Those of you that live in that area or want to target those markets, go to Ripon, start marketing, targeting neighborhoods in Ripon, door knock in Ripon. If they have prices there are 649, 999 is your median. Salida decreased to 8. Again, there's a pattern going on here. Median list price at 389, and then 66 days on market. Manteca inventories decreased to 34. Guys, it's a big city now. 704, I can't believe houses in Manteca. $704,911. That's
No
their
way.
price.
Wow.
That's crazy.
It
Kathy,
is.
that's your market, Kathy. Go get it. Let's see, 53 days on market. Manteca, sorry, I'm getting another person. Manteca, 704,000. Did I just say that? I did. I'm sorry. I apologize. I had that one twice. Okay, Lathrop. Okay, inventories decreased to 14. It says this is a seller's market, so watch for upward pricing pressure in the near future if the trend continues. 758, 659. John Adams. Go get it. 14 in inventory, and it says average days on market there's 26. So those are cash buyers. I don't know. That's kind of crazy. Valley Springs, for those of you up in the foothills, it's a strong seller's market. It's inventories held steady at or around 37. Median list price 589. And it just says the prices have recently flattened, but don't let that hinder your thoughts. They're going to continue to rise right now. The interest rates are still very low. So, and what this story I think is telling us is because of all those decrease words, we're going to get more on market. We have to. It's just historic. More houses are going to come on market. We need to find those houses and list them. Let's see, John, I saw you had something on there. I'll go to it in just a moment. And Galt, the last one I have, inventories decreased to 15. That one had climbed significantly over the last several months as well. And those of you in Lodi, Galt's not that far off. Median list price is 581, 300. Average days on market is 47. And it says it's a seller's market, so watch for upward pricing pressure in the near future. Okay, so you guys, very important. John put something, thank you, John. He shared where I'm getting these numbers from. I like to share them because we have new people come on all the time and I want them to be aware of these. This is something to look for. I like to share at the first meeting of the month when I can, but you can always go look at these. If you live in a specific neighborhood that you like to target, You can put in 95207 and you can get the stats for that particular neighborhood. I do a generic one based on cities. So I encourage you to do this for the neighborhoods that you target. Okay, it's really good information to know. And hopefully it spurs you to go out there and door knock or to start doing some kind of marketing. You can social media market to specific areas as well. So you can even do it from the comfort of your computer. You just need to be consistent. Okay.
Where
I
do
do
you go to get those stats on the neighborhood that you want to target?
If right here, if you look at the chat, John Adams has put the link. It's in Michael Lewis Marketing. That's one way to do it. You can also do market trends in MetroList. It's a lot more complicated. This will give you more of a generic feel for it. And it's super easy. It says search, you type in the email, the zip code of the name of the area you want to search. It's by neighborhood or city.
Okay.
I mean, zip code or city. I did have a quick question though. I think Bailey, that you did an open house on New Year's Day. How did that go?
I am on. I actually had like 8 or 9 families come through, and the house is now in, I believe, pending.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you for sharing that. I wondered, I saw your post. That was, your social media was great. And I just wanted to see, who's out on a day like that. Because sometimes we might tend to think, oh, everyone's at home with their families or whatever. But honestly, if you need to find a home now because yours is already in escrow, you're going to go out on any day that you can to an open house.
And
So-
not only, sorry,
Okay.
Bailey, that was like out on the outskirts, right?
Yeah, so a few days before, me and Lexi actually went to all the wineries surrounding that because you can't really door knock country property. So we took flyers and asked them if we could leave a few flyers for them to put up. Everybody was really nice. And then we left our business cards as well. Most people found out about it online, how they normally do, but yeah, it actually turned out really nice, and like there was somebody there before we were even ready to open the door.
You know what? I think that is so great that you went to the wineries and did that and you asked permission. That's great. Good idea. Awesome. So, you have to think outside the box. And honestly, that I've never even thought about going to a winery and taking a flyer or asking. That is really a great thing that you did. Good for you. Okay. So hopefully you guys, after reading those numbers and a few things that I've been sharing, I think I really wanted to talk a little bit about just basically that. We need to get listings. Listings are key right now because even before I pulled those stats, I was thinking, I want to talk about listings and how do we get more listings? And then I pulled the stats and it says decrease, decrease, decrease. Well, clearly we need to get more listings, right? The market is telling us, it's yelling at us. So let's throw out some ideas and let's brainstorm. How do you think we can get more listings? What do people suggest? Bailey just gave a great idea. You can't go to country property and door knock. So she found another source of getting the word out. What are other ideas out there?
So I actually was sitting at Costco early in December, and there was this gentleman sitting behind me, and I was waiting for my pizza, and I'm thinking, okay, how can I do this? So I just said, hey, do you know anybody that wants to buy or sell a home? And he just kind of looked at me kind of funny, and we started to talk, and he had a question, a specific question. I said, well, let me get your contact information and I'll get back to you with the answer to that question. And I called about 2 or 3 weeks before Christmas and said, hey, I have the answer to your question, which obviously that meant that he had to call me back for the answer, which he did. And then we ended up having this long conversation. And in fact, that's one of my phone calls today, is because he had another specific question about his particular home, which was kind of interesting that he only lives like 2 or 3 blocks away. So neighborhood kind of happening. So, just striking up conversations with people in line is.
That's good, Janice. That's being bold. Good for you.
Being a secret agent.
Yeah, good for you. Anybody else?
I
I have an example. I have a client that wants a very small, wants to find a home in an area that's, pretty limited. So I pulled canceled or expired listings, and I did some door knocking over the weekend. So we'll see if I get anything. Left my business card, and actually I asked Beth for any scripts on what to say, and she helped me out. So thank you, Beth, for that.
So,
But go ahead.
Can I just ask a question about that, Barbara? So
Yeah.
Sandy, you pulled the expired, you got the addresses,
Mm-hmm.
and then you went specifically to those houses with that in mind. Is that correct?
Yes.
Because sometimes, and maybe this is a blocker for me, but sometimes I've noticed that there are duplicates and one will be canceled because it's a duplicate. But did you run into anything like that?
No, but I thought about it. And if that happened, I was just going to turn that table real quick and ask them, oh, well, do you know anyone that wants to sell or buy a home? Kind of twist it a little bit. So it depended on the answer that I got from the person that answered. So yeah,
Okay.
I had a lot of options in case I came across a barrier.
That's great. The other thing you can say, well, have you met any of your neighbors? Do you know if any of them are planning to buy or sell in the near future? I have a client looking for this specific neighborhood. I mean, you have lots of conversation starters with what you are doing. And that's a great thing to do, is to go target neighborhoods. If you have a buyer looking for a specific area, door knock that neighborhood. That's great, Sandy. Good for you. And I would suggest you do that again, though, in another couple of weeks. Just do it again, the same neighborhood. Be consistent. Yes, Bailey.
I've also thought, I've been door knocking in my neighborhood because it's easy. I can wake up, I can just go out. I already have my flyers and everything made. But I've also been thinking about going to like Home Depot. It's right around the corner from my house, and just hanging out in the parking lot. Who goes to Home Depot? Well, a lot of homeowners go to Home Depot. So just like kind of talking to people as they come out. And I know that kind of sounds weird, but I heard it on a podcast. And so I thought I would share. I haven't done it yet.
That's super bold. No, I think that's great too. Just make sure that the store doesn't have any policies about soliciting.
Yes.
But you can ask beg for forgiveness later, and maybe even it depends on your personality how you want to play that.
Yeah.
But that's a great idea as well. And another place, a lot of people will do something to that effect, and some of you may have heard me say this before, but they'll go to Starbucks and they might buy, and this does cost money, but maybe they say, okay, I'll buy the next 50. Say you had 50 extra dollars. I'll buy the next 50. I want to buy coffee for the next people that walk in. I have a budget of $50. And then you're there for those people as they come out. And because they're going to ask who paid for that. And then they can thank you and you can share with them. Or you can just hand them a flyer maybe, or talk to them as they're coming out. So it's the same type of approach, but there are different ways to skin this animal, right? And you guys are taking those steps. That's really good. Anybody else? What I like about what you guys have shared is, what are you not doing?
Danny, she's raising her hand. Danny, unmute yourself.
Go ahead, Danny. Thank you.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, so I was putting in the chat some ideas, and to piggyback off of that, an 8x8 plan to be top of mind in a certain neighborhood. So Sandy, you have a specific client that we're working with that is like honed in on that certain neighborhood, right? So you have a great idea of going after those expired or canceled, or even something that is recently sold in the property. And one really great thing that you guys can do is develop your 8x8 plan. An 8x8 plan is 8 weeks, 8 touches. So it's every week you're doing a touch. It could be the golden letters, right? You guys go on to the Pivot Facebook page and look at the golden letters. It is amazing. Jane Shaw, I'm doing it myself. Then you can also do a direct mail of, hey, know for the what is your magic number of selling your home? We have buyers, right? Next, you can also do a mini CMA. A mini CMA is super easy. You can go and just knock on somebody's house and go, hey, you know, just so you know, your neighbor had just sold properly, and I just wanted to be a resource to you and put together a mini CMA. It doesn't have to be fantastic, but literally, I'm always learning based, guys, like you should be too. And I just came off of CVAR's CMA tutorial, right? And it brought me back to a spot where I was like, why wasn't I doing interactive maps and not a standard search? I should be doing an interactive map. It is so easy to do a mini CMA and just drop that off, and you're adding value to those people because maybe they don't know how much the value of their home is. And these are simple ways to just attack a certain neighborhood and being consistent. So just map it out. What are you going to do each week, 1 week? And you don't have to go crazy on the CMA, guys, but you know, pick maybe 5 homes that you're going to do that week and put together 5 CMA packages. It's really that, and it works. It really does.
That's great, Danny. Thank you. That reminds me too, because Sandy, you went to that class, I believe, as well. What is it that you took from it?
The interactive map was an eye opener for me. I didn't realize how effective that can be. So that was great. There were a lot of things. I have more to share on the CVAR, but there were a lot of things about the how to make a professional CMA that I didn't realize, like the search criteria, the customizing of it. And it was just overall great. I mean, I know I've done them before, but now that things are starting to make sense to me, it was kind of nice recapping because I felt like it was a little more hands-on, even though it was Zoom. I understood everything. So yeah, I really liked the interactive map. I didn't know how to use it. And radius, I didn't know how to really use, but I do now. So I'm excited to create those.
I just want to piggyback off that because I always did the radius. And when he brought up the fact of, you know, the interactive map, it opened up my aha was that when you're utilizing the interactive map, you're able to see if the houses that you're comparing are by railroad tracks or by airports, all of that. You don't see that in a radius search unless you're going into each individual property. So I'm spending more time when I could have just streamlined by using that. And we all want to be able to just be more smarter with our time. We want to work smarter, not harder, right? And so that was my aha today. I was like, oh my God, for so many years I've been doing this. So,
or if it's by a freeway.
Yeah, I mean, it was huge. So that was my big takeaway of how I'm going to put my CMAs together.
And those are great. I'm glad you guys pointed that out. I would just say one thing, not everyone has different thresholds for, they don't care if there's a railroad, they don't care if there's a freeway. So that's good information for you, but I wouldn't try to sway a buyer regarding that, because people are still going to buy those houses, whether they're by a freeway or by whether they're by a railroad. But that is good information to know. And Sandy, one other thing you said you went to CVAR. So Sandy, who else has ever been to a CVAR or LAR meeting? Okay, something you may want to start thinking about. I know they're at 8:30 usually on, are they? I don't know. They're all different days. It depends what city you're in. But tell us, you sounded like you said you wanted to share something about that CVAR meeting.
Well, I have quite a few things to share. Just real quick, I was very impressed that they do Pledge of Allegiance at the beginning, everyone. There's a $5 entry fee per meeting. You could pay it in advance. Couple notes, Masters Club deadline is January 31st, not 12/31. So there was some errors with that. There's the new fair housing disclosure is very detailed about love letters, not allowing love letters. So you need to talk to your client about that. The new NRHD in the foothills needs to be using the new form. I guess not so much in Modesto. Now, some of these things I have to dig a little more into to completely understand. I know it was really important and talked about a lot during the meeting. The PACE Hero loan, really understand that because the lenders won't approve that part when it comes to, and these improvements will net zero on an appraisal. So I have more detail on that, but I know we're short on time. And then the suggestion is that whenever you have a home you want to show, make sure you print the listing from Metro List. And so it reflects the commission, because they're getting complaints, quite a few, that agents are going in after you put in an offer and changing the commission percentage on the listing. And I guess it's happening a lot to where they're really concerned now. Yeah. And you can't view changes as agents in Metro List. You have to contact Metro List, and then they can look it up for you to show that, yeah, they did change it on you. And then Women's Council of NAR, there is a meeting on 121 from 4 to 6, and it's in Eventbrite. So, oh, one more thing. Jamie Oliver, she's great at making videos for those of you who don't like to be videotaped. She's normally charges $500 for her class, but she's offering it free on Wednesday, the 12th, January 12th, from 11 to 12. It'll be a Zoom class. So it's through CVAR. So if you want to sign up for that, normally it's $500 and it's going to be free.
Okay, great.
I don't know how all of that pertains, but
no, thank you. So you guys, I encourage you to go, because the other thing you can do when you go to those meetings is you can network with other agents. Again, they'll know who you are for when you write offers. Possibly they'll name with face, but it's also an opportunity to let them know about Keller Williams. Sorry, I'm pushing that, but that is the name of the game. Michele in December posted how much some people made on their profit share checks. That's for real. That's just another opportunity for residual income. So it's really something to think about. And honestly, we don't focus on it enough, because the 30% of the people in the company that participate in that make a lot of money, and the others of us don't. So just something to think about. Just like you share a movie. How many of you watched a great movie and told someone about it in the last 2 weeks when you were off? I did, or a Netflix program or something. Same thing. Share Keller Williams. Okay. Yes, Sandy.
One more thing. Someone was complaining that, oh, new agents, they don't always write offers or have their paperwork correct, and they're getting upset about it. Not CVAR, but someone. And I said, I was talking to someone after, and I told them, I said, well, at Keller Williams, we have success coaches, and all of our documents they go through them to make, another set of eyes. And so I was talking about Keller Williams in a very positive manner when it comes to training of their agents. So
good job, Sandy. That's a coffee card for Sandy.
So since we're on the topic of committees and stuff, I joined LAR for this year, and we have some dessert auction dates. I don't know if this is a place that I would share that.
Can you go ahead and put it in the chat?
I can.
That would be great. That way they can see it. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. Yeah, whoever wants, we can always set up a little time at the meetings. If anytime any of you go to these and you want to share something to everyone else, I definitely appreciate that. I'm sure we all do. And it's a good opportunity. So feel free to maybe let me know in advance, so I make sure to allot a few minutes for that. Okay.
Barbara, with my
yes.
having my first client, they knew it was my first time, and it was really nice to be able to tell them, yeah, I'm new, but I have a whole team of people behind me that know exactly what they're doing. And so I think that really helped with, give them confidence in me, that I have a whole team of people to help me whenever I need it. So it's not just me. So that was really nice to be able to tell them.
Thank you for sharing that, Jerry. And that definitely is something you can use, because we all start somewhere, right? And most people will give you grace for that, and but they do appreciate knowing that you're not alone out there struggling. And just trying to write an offer or a contract that no one's going to look at besides yourself, and it could be half wrong. and it does happen out there. So Sandy, that was really great that you pointed that out, and also Jerry. And the other thing you said about printing the MLS report. So I think most of you that have come through boot camp, that's one of the first things I tell you. I always start gathering information. And for instance, I showed this property. I'm going to hopefully show this property to someone, a past client of mine emailed me last night. And first thing I did, I went through and I printed this because I want to know about it and I want to have it. And unfortunately, it's a 2.0 commission. I always gasp when I do that, but whatever, they're my past clients. I'm going to help them. But yes, this is good. I know since I've had this role, I feel like it was Krista, but someone was in that same position where someone was trying to give them the wrong commission, lower than what they originally planned for it to be. And this was the proof in the pudding. This is what you publish. Okay, so protect yourself. You always want to protect your commission. You work really hard for that. Anybody else? We're almost out of time. I think Sandy had something else.
Just in regards to that, they said that the commission, as long as you haven't done an offer, they can change that commission. So print it when you're submitting your offer, which I don't see why it's ethical. They could change it at all, but that's what CVAR said.
Okay, so as long as you haven't written the offer, print it. So print it before you send the offer over, you're saying?
Yeah, the day before you send it. So
right. Which is what I definitely encourage. Yes.
Yeah.
Because think about it. So here's where we start. You're going to write an offer. You should print this out, or at least save it to your desktop, because you should also print out the tax records so you have them to refer to when you're running your CMA. That's all the information you're going to want when you put together your CMA information.
But if you show it a week,
it all makes sense.
If you show it a week in advance and you print it because you're going to go show it, the home. If you don't put in an offer for a week later, you have to print it that day before your offer goes in. Otherwise, it's not that percent.
So a week in advance didn't matter. You printed that day. Okay,
Yeah.
Good point. All right. Okay. So I think that's going to be it for me for today. Beth is going to take over. And don't forget, there is Twilight session on Thursday evening. Arthur's going to be leading that one. And Danny's going to be celebrating a birthday, I believe. So happy birthday in advance, Danny. It was very nice to see all of you today. Arthur, just so I remember, were you taking roll, or did you somehow, do we know who was on this call?
I did not, but give me 1 second and I can.
Okay, because there's 2 screens on here too. And actually, I do know a way to do that. It's just a little tedious, but there is a way to do it in Zoom. So Arthur has helped set us up. So hopefully once we go back to hybrid, it won't be so cumbersome as it has been. So thank you for doing that, Arthur. And he's set that up for the Twilight sessions as well. So hopefully when we get back on hybrid, which will be hopefully in January, I'm saying that word a lot, but that's the goal. We want to be back in person in February. Okay. So nice to see all of you today, and stay on with Beth. Learn some scripts. Talk to you next week.
All right. Bye, Barb.
Thanks, Barb.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.